On this video we're taking a look at our NCAAB parlay for the game that are happening on Saturday, February 19, 2022. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Our first parlay pick is Iowa vs Ohio State. Iowa +5. Iowa lost at home to Michigan on Thursday night. It was a home loss, which hurts the NCAA resume, as well as a reminder of how their defense is holding them back again, as they gave up 84 points to the Wolverines. They also shot poorly from deep in the free throw line, which is normally a strength. The loss puts a little extra pressure on the weekend to get things back on track against a much better offensive team. Iowa laid a bit of an egg against Michigan at home and did expose their interior defense a bit in the process. That said, I like the Hawkeyes to bounce back here and give the Buckeyes a run for their money. Lost in aftermath of the tough loss was the Hawkeyes' inability to get in sync down the stretch with their star player, Keegan Murray, in and out of the lineup down the stretch with a calf cramp. Iowa has an extremely efficient offense, 4th in the country, that rarely hurts itself, but was clearly out of sorts, with Murray out and Michigan able to change up their defense from zone to man effortlessly down the stretch. Ohio State possesses a quality defense, but I fully expect the Hawkeyes to make adjustments and put up scoring numbers commensurate to their potent defense. Ohio State beat the same Michigan team that Iowa just lost to on the road last weekend. These teams are very similar with top 10 offenses and defenses that might ultimately be their undoing. Do-it-all forward edge Liddell is the leader for Ohio State, and he is quietly having an awesome season. He is second at KenPom in the Player of the Year race. Freshman wing Malaki Branham's development is raising the ceiling for the Buckeyes. Defensively, Iowa will have to adjust from the difficulties they had with Michigan's potent interior offense because the Buckeyes also possess a solid low-post threat in Liddell. I expect to see Iowa throw more double teams at Liddell and force Ohio State's perimeter shooters to beat them. Liddell is adept at playing with his back to the basket or facing the basket, but I'm confident Ohio State will take a cue from the Michigan game and have him playing with his back to the basket more. Iowa can exploit the sometimes questionable decision-making of Liddell, who has 53 turnovers on the season. This could definitely be the most entertaining game of the season. These teams play with pace and know how to put the ball in the basket. Iowa is so good at not turning the ball over, and I think that gives them a chance at the upset. Ohio State is good at home, but most teams are not able to keep the pressure on them with their offense. Iowa can do that. We get a little bit of value with the Hawkeyes off a loss too. Our second parlay pick is Auburn vs Florida. Auburn -5. The Tigers have just 2 losses, but it feels like they have really lost their shine in the national media. I am not saying they are going to win it all, but this is still a team with few weaknesses. They check all of the boxes, and their best game is really good. Since losing at Arkansas, they have had a couple of double-digit wins against lower-tier teams in the SEC. Florida is a really positive matchup for Auburn as they have the defensive prowess inside with center Walker Kessler. Florida could really use a win in this spot, but that has been the case for the Gators for a while, and they have only been average recently by SEC standards. Florida has dropped its last 2 games straight up and has failed to cover the spread in its last 5 contests. Florida has not done enough to merit an NCAA bid yet. Lucky for the Gators, they have a number of big games left on their schedule, but with a 6-7 mark in the SEC, it is hard to have much confidence they will do anything with them. Big man Colin Castleton is a nice inside player, but beyond that, there is no discernible strength to this team. They are a bad 3-point shooting team, 30%, and that is going to make it tougher when they have to play catch-up. In my opinion, Auburn is the best team in the country right now, and Bruce Pearl will have his team ready to play. The Tigers are 13th in the nation, holding opponents to just 38.5% shooting from the field, and with a combo of 2 potential lottery picks Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler protecting the rim and scoring inside, along with a guard combo of Green and Johnson, Auburn will be too much for Florida. When these teams met at Auburn, the Tigers won by 12. They are not going to have to win by as much to cover on Saturday, but look for Auburn to win comfortably. The key is that the Tigers' Kessler is going to be able to really limit the Gators' best scoring option. With Florida's shooting woes, it is hard to see how they are going to come up with enough points elsewhere to close the gap at home. Our third parlay pick is LSU vs South Carolina. South Carolina win. South Carolina, KenPom number 98, hosts LSU, KenPom number 16, Saturday afternoon inside Colonial Life Arena. South Carolina is currently pegged as 4.5-point home underdogs and is the recommended side to cover the spread. LSU's price point in the betting markets is a tad too high as bettors are paying a premium to back the Tigers at the moment. South Carolina has the ability to keep this game closer than the current spread indicates. Both South Carolina and LSU profile similarly in that their defense pulls more weight than their offense. Both units rank within the top half of the second defensive efficiency while sit at the bottom of the conference. South Carolina is scoring an average of 71.6 points per game. However, the Gamecocks are below average in shooting as South Carolina has a 42.8% field goal accuracy, which is 253rd, and the Gamecocks are hitting only 32.1% of their attempts from behind the three-point line, which is 265th. Eric Stevenson is the leading scorer with an average of 11.3 points per game, but is shooting a dismal 35.8% overall. Second leading scorer James Reesby is averaging 10.4 points per game and shoots only 42.3%. Each of the top 5 scorers for South Carolina are shooting an average of 43.4% or less. Jermaine Kuisnert is the leader in assists with an average of 2.8 per game. South Carolina averages 13.9 assists and 14.9 turnovers per game. In order to stay competitive with LSU, South Carolina will need to keep the Tigers out of transition and force them to execute their offense in the half court. Per Hoop Math, South Carolina ranks above the D1 average in limiting opponents' field goal attempts in transition, 22.1%. Forcing LSU to execute their offense in the half court is a big key. Per KenPom, LSU currently sports the SEC's least efficient offense in conference play, 95.8 points scored per 100 possessions. If the Gamecocks are able to generate defensive stops on a consistent basis, they negate LSU's ability to implement their full court press. Buy low on the Gamecocks and sell high on the Tigers. Back the Gamecocks. Disclaimer, no financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information contained in or provided from or through this channel is not intended to be and does not constitute financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, or any other advice. The information on this channel and provided from or through this channel is general in nature and is not specific to you, the user, or anyone else. You should not make any decision, financial, investment, trading, or otherwise, based on any of the information presented on this channel without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or financial advisory.